Not every helper comes to lighten your burden. Some step into a home wearing innocence like a mask, yet behind that mask lies destruction. Often, the gift you welcome with joy can become the weapon that tears your peace apart. This is the story of the Adeyemi family, a story of kindness, betrayal, and the hidden dangers of bringing a stranger into your home. Funke Adeyemi was 7 months pregnant. Her belly was heavy, her feet were swollen, and she barely slept at night. Before, things had been easier. Grandma used to live with them, helping with the children, cooking meals, keeping the house warm with her presence. But Grandma had passed away, and now the house felt empty. The dishes piled up, clothes lay everywhere, and the children cried at night. One evening, as she tried to fold laundry with trembling hands, her husband, Tunda, sat beside her. He was a gentle man who loved her deeply. "My love," he said softly, "you can't go on like this. You're carrying our child. Let's get help." Funk didn't like strangers under her roof, but he squeezed her hand. "Please, for me, for the baby." The decision was made on a hot Thursday afternoon at Queen of Peace Primary School, where Funke taught. Children ran out laughing with bags bouncing on their backs. By the gate, half hidden under a neem tree, stood a thin girl, hair matted, dress torn and dusty, feet bare, clutching a small black nylon bag as if it carried her whole life. Some children giggled and pointed, but she kept her eyes down, lips moving like she was whispering to herself. Funk's heart squeezed. Part of her said, "Walk past." Another voice said, "Have compassion." She walked over. "Hello, why are you standing here?" The girl raised red, tired eyes. "Auntie, I need work. I can sweep, wash plates." "Anything, what is your name?" Funk asked. "Said, Ma." Something about the girl felt off, but the memory of swollen feet, aching back, and her husband's plea pushed her forward. "All right, come with me." That evening, Funk introduced Said to Tunda. His face lit up. "See how God answers prayers." "This is the helper we've been waiting for." Said bowed, soft and respectful. "Thank you, sir." "I will serve well." Funke forced a smile, though her chest felt heavy. That night she whispered to the ceiling, "Lord, did I do the right thing?" She didn't see the faint smirk on Sade's lips as the girl settled into her new room. Neither of them knew the storm they had just invited into their home. For 2 weeks, everything looked perfect. Said swept before dawn, watered the plants, washed uniforms until they shone. When Funk's back ached, Said rushed forward. "Madam, sit down. Let me help you." She even massaged Funk's swollen feet with warm salt water. Funk's heart softened. Maybe this girl was a blessing, but destruction often begins small. One evening, little Bola refused to sleep in her room, clinging to her mother's wrapper. "Mummy, Auntie Said said there are spirits in the ceiling. If I don't listen, they will bite my toes." "No, Bola," Funk said, trying to sound sure. "There are no spirits here." "This is God's house." Saad lowered her eyes. "Children imagine things, madam." Funk was tired and carried the girl back to bed, but a small seed of worry remained. Things began to vanish. A sock, a handkerchief Funke was sure she left on the dresser, then Grandma's gold earrings. "Tunda, did you move my earrings?" "No," he said, eyes on his phone. When Funk asked Said, the girl's voice was humble. "Maybe you misplaced them, madam." "I can help you look," Funk doubted herself. Maybe pregnancy was making her forgetful. Said's cooking seemed perfect. The soups were rich, the stews had the right colour, the jollof aroma filled the house. "Thank you, Sade," Funke said once. "You cook so well." Sade bowed, a secret smile on her lips. If they had known her secret, they would have spat every grain from their mouths. Each time she cooked, she checked the door, squatted beside the pot, lifted the cover, and added her secret. Not spices, not seasoning, but things too unclean to imagine. She whispered as she stirred, "Let them eat confusion." Let them eat sickness. Let them eat my control. Then she hummed softly, like nothing had happened. At the table she served generously, smiling. Sir, eat well. Madam, this will give you strength. They ate, unsuspecting. Soon the children clutched their stomachs, crying in pain. Funk's cramps worsened. Her face went pale. Even Tunda, strong and proud, staggered and fell sick until he could barely breathe. Many nights they rushed to the hospital. Doctors shook their heads. Food poisoning again? The tests show nothing unusual. Funka sat on hospital beds, weak and shaking. Why is this happening to us? At home, Saad moved quickly with water and wipes. Sorry, madam. Sorry, sir. Don't worry, I will take care of everything. She patted backs, cleaned vomit and fetched medicine, hiding her smirk. The children noticed. Mummy, Dara whispered, why does Auntie Said smile when we are sick? Every time they trusted her food, trouble followed. Still, Tunda defended her. Stop blaming the girl. She's the only one keeping this house together. He did not know the poison wasn't only in the pot. It was in the whispers and charms she worked in the shadows. The air in the home grew heavy. The children argued over toys they never used to fight about. Funk snapped easily. Tunde grew short-tempered. One night he slammed the table. Funk, why is this house always tense? You complain too much. Leave the poor girl alone. Funk froze. He had never spoken to her like that. She looked down at her belly and whispered to her unborn child, your father has changed, and I don't know why. Every night after the house went quiet, Said pulled a small red cloth pouch from under her pillow, a charm tied with black thread. She clutched it and whispered, confusion, confusion. Let them never agree. Let their love turn sour. Let their laughter turn to quarrels. By morning, anger and bitterness replaced peace. Even Tunde was not spared. At first, he only defended Said. Soon he noticed how she lingered when serving his food, how her eyes held his a moment too long, how she always swept each time he was nearby. He shook his head. Number. I love my wife. But Said wasn't fighting with beauty alone. Over every plate she murmured, let his heart burn for me. Let his wife be forgotten. The cracks widened. Days dragged on. Funk's belly grew heavier. She longed for the old comfort, his hands on her shoulders, his whisper, we're in this together. But he was distant, distracted, his smiles rare. One night, sharp back pain woke her. She reached for him. The bed was empty. Tunda. No answer. She followed a faint humming to the kitchen and froze. Tunde sat there, eyes glazed, smiling foolishly. Sade stood at the stove, stirring slowly, humming a strange tune, wrapper tied loosely. It slipped lower as she bent. Funk covered her mouth. Tunda didn't notice. His eyes were locked on the maid. The baby kicked as if feeling her mother's pain. Funka staggered back to bed, tears soaking her pillow. My baby, she whispered, forgive me for letting this girl into our home. In the morning she tried to speak. Tunda, you spend too much time with that girl. It isn't right, his spoon clattered. Enough, Funka. She's the only one helping me. Do you want me to throw her out while you are heavy with pregnancy? His voice cut like a knife. Said stood by the sink, head bowed, the corners of her lips curling in the faintest smile. Later, as the kids came home from school, Dara said, Auntie Said said Daddy will soon marry her. She said when you go to the hospital, you won't come back. Funk's heart dropped. Don't listen to her. Daddy loves us, but her voice shook. Deep down, she feared those were not just lies. They were plans. At night, Funka knelt by her bed. God, what is happening in my home? Who is this girl? Protect my husband, my children, and this child in my womb. In the back room, Sade sat cross-legged by her pouch, chanting, blind his eyes, blind his heart. Let him see no one but me. Let her womb carry sorrow. Let her life fade away. Two women under one roof. One crying to heaven, the other whispering to hell. The battle had begun. A quiet Saturday brought a knock at the gate. A thin, weary woman stood outside. "I'm looking for Sade," she said. When Sade saw her, her soft face hardened. "I don't know her, sir." "Send her away," she snapped, a tone Funke had never heard. The woman's eyes filled with anger. "This girl destroyed my home and now my husband has gone missing. He was last seen with her at a mall." "Madam," she said, pointing towards Funke, "if you value your home and your family, send her away." Sade clung to Tunda. "Sir, she's lying. She treated me badly. Don't believe her." "Under her spell," Tunda said. "Leave this place. You will not spoil her name here." The stranger looked at Funke. "Madam, listen to me before it is too late." Tunda slammed the gate. That night, Sade whispered, "Let their ears be deaf. Let their eyes be blind," and the warning faded into the walls. Later, Funke dreamed the house was dark and smoky. At the end of the hall stood Mama Adeyemi, her late mother-in-law, eyes burning. "My daughter," the old woman said, "the girl you brought is tying your husband and poisoning your food. If you don't rise and fight, you will lose everything. Your husband, your children, even this unborn child." Dark hands reached from the walls. Funke screamed and woke, drenched in sweat. From that night, she rose at midnight to pray. "Father, fight for me. Expose the evil in my house." On a Monday morning, cramps slammed into her belly. "Tunda, it's time. Please, take me to the hospital." Without looking up from his phone, he muttered, "I'm busy. Call a cab." "Tunda, I'm in labour." "I said I'm busy." Tears stung her eyes. She hugged the children. "I'll be fine. Take care of yourselves." She hailed a cab alone. The driver helped her in. "Madam, where is your husband?" "He is busy," she whispered, turning to the window. In the white hospital room, her cries filled the air until a louder, sweeter cry answered. A baby girl, tiny and perfect. Funke kissed her. "My gift from God." No husband came. Not once. 3 days later, she returned home, weak, the baby wrapped in pink. Her heart longed for rest. Instead, she found her bags and clothes dumped at the door. She looked up, saw Sade at the doorway, wearing her dress and scarf, lips painted red, eyes bold. Behind her stood Tunda, shoulders slumped, eyes glassy, a lost man. "Tell them to go," Sade said sharply. "Tell them now." Tunda nodded like a puppet. "Leave this house. You don't belong here anymore." Funke's knees buckled. She clutched her newborn while the children held her waist. With nowhere to go, she walked to the church with her children. The pastor looked at her worn face and the baby in her arms. "Daughter, you will not be abandoned. We will give you a room. We will fast and pray." Under the church roof, they began 7 days and 7 nights of prayer. The pastor prayed with them day and night. "Father, restore this family. Break every chain." On the first day, nothing changed. On the second, Tunda still followed Sade like a lost man. On the third, his partners whispered, "What happened to Adeyemi?" Still Funke prayed. Still her children sang. "The Lord is fighting for you," the pastor said. And then the 7th day came. Early that morning, Tunda woke with burning headache. "Ah, my head!" he groaned, clutching it. "Funke, where are you?" He turned and saw Sade lying beside him in Funke's wrapper and scarf. Confusion filled his eyes. "What are you doing here?" "Where is my wife?" Sade froze, then smiled sweetly. "Darling, you're not well. Come, I'll make breakfast." She planned to charm his food again, but when she brought the tray, his head pounded harder. He shoved the plate away. "No! Who are you? Where is Funke?" Panic flashed in her eyes. She ran to her room, dragged out the red pouch and whispered, "Confusion. Blind him again." The pouch grew hot in her hands. "Ah!" she screamed, dropping it. She fell to the floor, writhing and clawing at the walls. "Fire! Fire!" she screamed. No flames were seen, but something burned deep inside her. With one last scream, she bolted barefoot into the street, still shouting, "Fire! Fire!" Neighbours peeped through curtains, too afraid to stop her. Silence fell. Tunda sat on the bed, eyes suddenly clear. For the first time in months, his mind felt free. He looked around at scattered clothes and abandoned papers. Memories rushed back. The fights, the distance, the night he chose the maid over his wife. "My God, what have I done?" With shaking hands, he picked up his phone. "Funk," he sobbed when she answered. "Please, where are you?" "Come home. Forgive me. Please come back in the church room." Funka held her newborn. Her older children sat close, eyes puffy. The phone rang. It was Tunda. Her hand trembled. After everything, should she answer? She did. His voice was broken. "My wife, forgive me. My eyes are open. I need you. I need the children." The pastor touched her shoulder. "God has answered. It is time to return." That afternoon, the church van carried them home. As the gate swung open, neighbours whispered, "Madam is back with the pastor." Inside the compound stood Tunda, not the proud man from before, but a broken one. He fell to his knees. "Funk, my wife, my children." He crawled to her feet, tears wetting the dust. "Forgive me. I failed you. I failed our family." The pastor said gently, "Rise, son. The enemy used you, but the chains are broken. Do not waste this chance." They entered the house. The air felt heavy and foul. Funk saw her clothes scattered, perfumes half empty, the bed tainted with another woman's scent. Her heart ached, but the pastor lifted his hands. "Let us cleanse this place." They prayed in every room and anointed the walls. "Every trace of darkness, out. Every strange spirit, flee. This family belongs to the Lord." The heaviness lifted, the rooms brightened. Light returned to the Adeyemi home. The children ran to their father. "Daddy, don't leave us again." He held them tight, weeping. "Never again." "I am sorry," Funka watched quietly. Her heart was bruised, but a gentle warmth stirred. Maybe this home could live again. "Stay watchful," the pastor said. "Do not let division enter. Pray always. Evil waits for careless doors. Stay united and no darkness can stand against you." Funka nodded. Tunda bowed his head. The children joined their little hands. Their healing began. Months passed. Peace slowly returned. Funka cared for her newborn with joy. The older children laughed again, and Tunda returned to business humbled and wiser. But evil does not die. It moves and waits. Far away in Lagos, Sade walked barefoot along a dusty road. Her face was thin and hollow, hair rough, clothes torn. She looked homeless, abandoned, but her eyes still burned, not for food or shelter, but for another home to enter, another life to destroy. In the busy Ojuelegba market, traders shouted prices, women balanced baskets on their heads, and Sade slipped through with her nylon bag pressed to her chest. A passerby watched her, heart stirred with pity. She stepped forward gently. "My dear, are you all right? Do you need help?" Sade lifted her head and gave a weak smile. "Auntie, I need work. I can sweep. I can wash. Anything. Please help me." And so, dear friend, the story ends where many stories begin, with a stranger at the gate. Compassion is good, but compassion without prayer opens the wrong door. Marriage is sacred. When division enters, darkness takes advantage. Children sense danger. Listen to them. Above all, prayer is powerful. It broke the chains in this home, not money or strength. But remember, the face can change, the dress can change, even the name can change, while the mission remains. To enter, to scatter, to destroy. Who are you letting into your home? Who are you trusting with your peace and your future? Stay alert. Stay prayerful. Sometimes the devil doesn't come with horns and fire. Sometimes he comes as a smiling helper at your gate.